Oh, so we'll have a situation here where white has got two pawns, advanced pawns. Black has got just one bishop, and black is actually hoping for a draw. But white is seeking for a win. So the next move by white is to play to win. The next move by white is very important. Otherwise, this game ends in a draw, and black will be very excited about it. So looking at it, what do you think would be the best next move for black? For white, sorry. So if white decide to first go for a check, box the king and the bishop, black will simply take out the pawn. And if black does take out the pawn, and white either takes out the bishop, it ends in a draw. Let's go back again. If black takes this out, and white decide to advance the pawn, there's no way he can win because the black would always cancel out the pawn. So it ends up in a draw. Let's go back again. What if white decides to advance the c pawn? Black would simply move to d7, and this ends up in a draw because, say, white goes there to protect this pawn and to attack that bishop. Black simply moves the bishop away to a safe location, and if white advances to queen, the black bishop sacks the pawn, and that ends up in a draw. So go back again. Another scenario again. If white decide to advance the king to attack the bishop, black simply protects the bishop. Unless there's a situation where white decides to go with a check to threaten the king so that he could take the bishop. The king simply moves to d7, protected the bishop, attacking the d6 pawn, and white, obviously, its next move. It's a forced move away from the pawn because he cannot go to b7, for example. And his best two moves are a8 and a7. Let's choose it goes to a7. It gives room to black to cancel, take out the d pawn, leaving the c pawn helpless, and it ends up in a draw. And that's frustrating for white. Let's go back again. So we've looked at several scenarios. So what scenario do you think would be the best move for white? I would suggest the best move for white in this situation is to go to a8, giving the black king a false hope that he could easily attack the pawns, or none of the pawns can advance. If they advance, he cancel them like we discussed before. So, for example, he knows that the next move is that the king will be coming close to attack the bishop. So he's got several moves to make. Either he moves the bishop away, or he moves the king away, or he moves it close to the bishop. Let's go for this scenario first. He goes close to the bishop. And then the white king goes to b8, attacking the bishop. In this situation, the best move, the next move for black, because black can obviously not move away from the bishop will be taken out, and that's a loss. So the best move for black is either to take the bishop to a6, still protecting the c square, the c8 square, and being safe, and the king is keeping the pawns from migrating to become maybe a queen or a more senior officer. So, what's the next best move um for uh for white? So the next best move for white is to go advance the d pawn to d7. Advancing the d pawn to d7 is a very strong move. So it means it's stopping the bishop from going back to take over the c square and the c diagonal, and it's also stopping the king from maintaining the e8 pot. So the black king has very limited choices. If they move if they decide to move, say for example, they move the bishop, they want to maintain the king on d8, and they want to begin to attack the pawns. White can easily move the pawn on the c pawn to c7, checking the king, telling the king to move away. The king has no choice. The king either goes to e7, which is obviously a very terrible spot. The king would most definitely have to take the d pawn, the d7 pawn, to be safe. And by so doing, white can easily advance his c pawn to c8, turning them into a queen and winning the game. So let's go again. Let's say instead of moving the bishop, he leaves the bishop there. He moves the pawn away. If he does that, white can simply take over the square. The c7 square means the next move by black would not, no move by black right now can stop the d pawn from becoming a queen. So let's go back. This means from the onset, the best move for white to win the game is a8, and the game is won. I want to see your comments in the comment section. Tell me if you have a better move to get a draw or a better move to get a win in this game. Thank you, and see you next time on my videos. Bye.